Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Manny, in case you're new here. Today I'm going to be showing you my everyday makeup routine while also talking about my journey to self-love and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, I had a weird feeling that I wanted to talk about this in a video, so I figured why not talk about it when I'm covering up all my flaws and imperfections with makeup. As you can see, I just got out of the shower. I wanted this to be as real and raw as it could be, and this is what I look like when I come out of the shower. Sorry, my battery died 5 minutes into the video, so great start. Anyways, I have work later in the afternoon, so I'm going to be putting on my makeup, so I thought it was a perfect time to show you my makeup routine. First things first, glasses off. I already put on lotion after my shower. I use the Cetaphil one. The first thing that I put on is sunscreen. I only recently incorporated this into my daily routine, which is terrible, I know, but sunscreen is really good for protecting your skin. So I just put a little pea-sized dollop and spread it all over my face. So, I guess I'll start this discussion with when I was a kid and how I felt about myself and my identity. Honestly, as a kid, I didn't have the greatest form of self-love. I feel like a lot of kids are very independent and themselves and stuff like that, but I wasn't like that from what I can remember. So I've done Chinese dance ever since I was 4 years old, and for some reason, even though I live in a pretty Asian populated city, I was always very self-conscious and insecure about the fact that I was Asian. So I never really liked to tell people that I did Chinese dance, and I always wanted to be white for some reason. I never really liked being Chinese and all the Asian traditions that came with that, which was terrible because honestly I've accepted that part of me now, and I'm fully embracing that I'm Chinese and I love it. It's one of the best things honestly that I could probably ever accept. So that wasn't the greatest start in my childhood. I'm using the Benefit Professional Primer. This is just still the sample that I'm using. I have a bigger one that I can use, but I just want to finish this one up first. I usually just put this around my nose and then also my T-zone, just because those are where the most pores are on my skin, and this is really good at leveling and evening out your skin and stuff like that. Yeah, that was one of my biggest, being Asian was one of my biggest insecurities when I was a kid. I really just didn't like being Asian at all. But it took me until probably later high school where I fully accepted that I was Asian and I actually really embraced it and enjoyed it. I don't know, I don't really have a full story with that one. I just kind of learned to accept it, and also I love to dance. I love Chinese dance. It's actually probably the best thing ever. And I don't know, I've always been able to perform at malls and stuff like that in Vancouver in Chinese New Year, and seeing all the crowds of the diverse people that come to watch, and people who just enjoy watching our dance really made me appreciate my culture a lot more, for sure. I need to wet my Real Techniques beauty blender for the next step. So I use the NARS Creamy Concealer just to cover any pimples and stuff like that. If you can see, I'm breaking out on my forehead, specifically today, the day that I chose to film. Not sure why, but that's how it be sometimes. But yeah, I use the creamy concealer to cover up any redness and stuff like that. I don't use foundation or BB cream because I think that's just too heavy for me. To continue on with the Asian topic, just to wrap it up really quickly, because I have other stuff that I want to talk about. I just want to say that if you are insecure about your culture, I want to say don't be. Obviously that's easier said than done, but I think you need to learn to appreciate the special practices and traditions and stuff like that that are uniquely yours because of your culture. Yeah, if you live in North America, I guess it's lucky that we get to live in such an assimilated country, or assimilated countries, where diversity is appreciated. And although we are still fighting for equality for a lot of races and ethnicities, it shouldn't erase how you feel about your race and who you are inside. Now I'm just blending my concealer out. The next topic that I wanted to talk about in this video is just continuing along my time frame of insecurities, I guess. The biggest insecurity that I had when I was little, before I was a teenager, was my skin, because I had terrible eczema when I was little. It was so bad. It was all along my hands. I would have cuts on my knuckles all the time, and I would go to see doctor after doctor and get prescription after prescription, but it just would never heal. Every time I thought that an ointment would work or something, it'd work for the first few weeks, and then it just stopped working again, and my skin was immune to the prescription that I was prescribed on. And that really took a toll on me as I was a preteen, because I feel as a preteen, you're already so vulnerable in your like developmental stages, but I remember one of like the most, I think, like hurtful, but not intended to be hurtful things, I still remember it to this day, is that like I was in summer school one summer and I would like to wear shorts. Obviously it was like hot and summery, but I would have terrible eczema all down my legs, and like it would be scars and like marks and stuff like that. And it got to the point where kids, like one of the kids in my class asked me if I like self-harmed myself because of the way that my legs looked. And yeah, I don't know, it was just really hurtful. I don't really want to cry. I'm not gonna cry because I'm not really like that hurt by it anymore. I don't know, it definitely took a toll on me as I was trying to figure out it, and obviously like I couldn't control it either. Like I tried so many things to fix it, but it just like would never work, so I was always so frustrated. Luckily, as I've gotten older, my eczema has like subsided a lot. It's just through a mix of like trying different supplements and like ointments and all this kind of stuff. The only major thing that I have is like dry skin on my fingers. That's like really bad at times depending on my stress level, but other than that, like my eczema has pretty much fully gone away, which I'm really thankful for. That was definitely one of my biggest insecurities, because every time like we'd go to a pool party or something, like I wouldn't even be able to swim at times because of how bad my skin was. Like going into the pool would make it hurt. Next step, I'm going in with the CoverGirl Clean Matte Powder in Buff Beige, just going along my T-zone and my oily areas to kind of mattify it. I guess like I don't really have, like I'm not trying to offer advice for you guys, but I'm just trying to share my story because everyone goes through some sort of insecurity in their life for sure. Like it's definitely not possible that you're gonna go through life without anything. I think that's what I've realized throughout teenagerism and like becoming an adult, is that not everyone's perfect. To continue on with my little skin story, I think up until, this is like not eczema related, but up until grade 11, I had really good skin, and that was, sorry, I'm just grabbing my next step. So up until grade 11, I had really perfect skin on my face. Like I never got pimples or anything, and I knew that was the time when like people, like some of my friends were getting pimples just because of like hormones and stuff like that, but I never got any. And before I thought it was like, oh, I'm just super lucky, like my genetics are good. But I realized it was because I had really dry skin as a kid. In grade 12, that like totally flipped around for some reason. I don't know how, but I got so many pimples and broke out so much. Like I'll try and find photos and put them in, but it made me so insecure because first of all, I'd never gotten pimples in my entire life, and like to have those all of a sudden when I thought I had my life together was like freaking chaotic. And then also like I just didn't know how to deal with it because I never had to deal with it before. So yeah, even now I'm still dealing with like pimples and skin and stuff like that. I've definitely started taking care of it more. There's more that I could do for sure, but I'm trying my best right now. I think acne is like one of the biggest things that everyone will go through eventually, and I think it's just through like a trial and process era that you'll find the way to cure your skin, whether it's like having a skincare routine, just like improving your health habits. Like people go on Accutane and stuff like that to help fix it. It's everyone's like a different situation, you know? So the next thing I'm going in with is the Hoola bronzer to make myself look snatched. I take this Quo brush and I just do it along my cheekbones, and then also like from the forehead to my temple in this like 3 or like C shape, I guess, and then also along my nose because Eurocentric beauty standards. Oh, that actually ties perfectly into my next point that I wanted to talk about, which is the Eurocentric beauty standards that social media portrays that every girl must look like, which is just unrealistic and terrible. I think when I first started using Instagram in like grade 5 or 6, I always followed like these really pretty white models. I remember like Alexis Ren was one of them for sure. And throughout high school, those girls on my Instagram feed made me so insecure because I didn't look like them. I didn't have big eyes, I didn't have like big boobs, and just like I wasn't white, I guess. And with time, like I think I've learned the biggest thing is that you're gonna be stuck with yourself for your entire life, and there's no reason that you should pick yourself apart because no one looks at you as closely as you do. Like for myself right now when I'm filming, I didn't even want to film today because I was breaking out, but honestly like if I hadn't mentioned, you guys probably wouldn't even have noticed or like wouldn't have cared. But I always just make it such a big deal. Another one of the big points that I've learned is that like another person's beauty doesn't take away from your own. So just because someone else is pretty doesn't mean you're not pretty. I saw this quote on, I think it was TikTok or Pinterest, I don't really remember, where it was like, oh, Christmas lights and flowers are both really pretty, but in their own ways. And just because one thing is pretty doesn't mean the other can't be. And that quote has really impacted the way that I see myself. Because yeah, those white girls that I see on Instagram, they are pretty. All my friends are pretty. Like, everyone is really pretty, but that doesn't mean I'm not. And I think taking the time to also admire features that you like about yourself will help with that as well. That's my bronzer. I don't know if you've noticed anything. I feel like half the things that I do in my makeup routine people can't even see, but it just makes me feel better, so I do it. The next step is that I go in with a Burt's Bees blush. This is in Soft Peach, Bare Peach, and I just put it on my cheeks. One of the other things that I've realized is, or actually just something that I've noticed that's really interesting, I put too much on my brush, is like those TikToks where it's like, I'm not good enough, and then they'll put pictures of like Addison Rae, Emma Chamberlain, like those really pretty models and influencers and stuff like that. Those break my heart every single time. Like, honestly, I think I'm truly at a point now where I think that I am pretty. It took me a long time to get here for sure. It was definitely through a process of realizing that I have good traits and like people are gonna look different, and you just have to accept it. You can't, like, why try to look like someone else when you already have these genes and this face? I put too much blush on. Actually, it looks fine. I also like to put a little blush on my nose and my chin because it's cute. Makes you look rosy. The next step is we're going in with the Anastasia brow definer in dark brown, and I'm just gonna fill in my brows. This is like a whole process and a half, so I really can't talk while I do it because I need to watch myself in the mirror to make sure I don't mess up. Yeah, see, like one filled in looks so much better. I feel like just makes you look more put together when you have your brows done. One of the other biggest things that I went through was loving how my body looked. So up until the end of first year, I didn't really do like much actual exercise other than dance. Dance is pretty like physically demanding, I would say, but it's not like cardio, strength training, you know, that kind of stuff. So I never really felt the need to work out because I was like, I dance like 4 times a week, like I'm fine. I really don't want to, until I had someone point out things to be insecure about that I didn't even know. So there were a lot of things about myself that I wasn't insecure about for a long time. Like when I was little, I was very skinny. I was like literally bored if you looked at me from the side, but I didn't really care because boob sizes, you can't really control that. But like I wasn't insecure about it, you know? But then I had someone point out, oh, you should go to the gym and like get an ass because you're flat. And like, oh, like look at the stretch marks on your thighs and stuff like that. And I never even noticed those things about myself until they pointed it out. And then it made me so insecure. I was like, holy crap, like what the heck? There are so many things like that people notice about me that I don't even notice. Like what if there's so many other things that I like don't see about myself that other people see and like find absolutely appalling? I was like just shook. And so I did it. I tried working out for someone else. Didn't really want to do it, but in April or May of last year, I started working out, I guess. I did very light stuff because I didn't really want to push myself to do hard things, and it didn't last because I didn't have a real reason to work out or get fit or start loving myself that way. Don't do things for other people. That's like what I have to say about that. This is the Milk Mascara. The Milk Kush Mascara. So I just curled my eyelashes and I'm gonna put the mascara on the ends of my lashes because I've learned that if you put it on the bottom, it weighs it down a lot more and then your lashes lose their curl. I don't know, saw it online. And then I'm gonna do on the same on the other side. Yeah, I started actually working out in like June of last year, I would say. And I don't know what flipped the switch and made me work out for myself, but I just kind of figured that I do want to love myself that way, and I think my body deserves the best that it can get. So I started working out, and honestly, like I think my body and like my physical shape nowadays is probably the thing that I am least insecure about. Like I love the way that I look. Also because like I know it is all built by me through like my hard work and my strength training and stuff like that. So yeah, I do love my body. I never really worked out to get like a shape or a weight or anything, just to kind of feel better about myself and also do it for the health benefits. But obviously your physical body will also improve as well. I don't want to try and flex, but I have a lot of people point out that I do have an like a six-pack or have abs. It's not that it makes me mad that when they point it out. Sometimes I get kind of like, I don't really want to show it off all the time, but you know, when you wear crop tops and stuff, you kind of like inevitably gonna show it off. But like, I wish people notice like how hard I worked for that, and like how much effort and hard work and like attitude I had to put into consistently go to the gym, like consistently work myself that way, and like how much actual work I had to put in other than just like, oh, you have like 2 lines down your stomach. I don't know, obviously I'm like grateful that like the genetically like my body can look like that because I'm very happy with it, but it's just like kind of, sometimes I wish that like people could notice the hard work and attitude first. Okay, we're actually almost done my makeup, which is obviously very fast. I don't do a ton of makeup every day. I had a couple more things that I wanted to bring up. Oh, okay, so the first thing I wanted to bring up in regards to like body image and stuff like that, for me personally, I have my family always commenting on my body image in a negative way. As I said earlier, I looked like a board when I was little, and I was super skinny, super thin. Like my arms were like this big, my thighs were like this big, like exaggerating a little, but honestly you get the idea. And obviously through working out and stuff like that, you build muscle and you get bigger. Like I've gained weight since I've started working out, and that's just through getting bigger and like working my muscles harder. And my family always comments on it, or not always, but sometimes comments on it, and it just makes me mad because I guess my family still has the mindset of like skinny is pretty and you have to be as skinny as possible. Women are supposed to be like dainty and elegant and skinny and like pale. Those are like kind of like the Chinese beauty standards, I guess. And it still gets on my nerves and I still don't know how to deal with it, but I really love the way that my body is, so I kind of have ignored it. That's probably the biggest thing that you can do with a lot of people that are gonna doubt you, is ignore them. Yeah, prove them wrong. Like, you know you can do better. Okay, the next step is I'm going in with my little Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop on this little brush, cheekbones, nose, you know how it is. I actually love to go like really heavy-handed on highlighter because I think it looks so cute. But yeah, if your family comments on your body and like discourages you, I know how you feel. It is something that I regularly deal with still. I think you just have to realize that like the cardiovascular sense of your body and like the amount of strength that it has is more important than the look, because that's what's gonna get you like far in the long run. I'm not really doing this to like be skinny or for other people. It's more so I can stay alive longer than them. I also put highlighter on my inner corners and under my eyebrows. Truly love the glow. And also on my Cupid's bow, I forgot. That's actually the end of my makeup. I have one last step, whoopsies, which is this little NYX setting spray. I just got this, so actually this is my first time using it, but I've always wanted a setting spray and I need to see how it is. I want to see what it smells like first, make sure I don't smell stinky. I'm just gonna spray it on myself from a distance so that my makeup stays as long as possible. And then the last step of my makeup routine is this Daisy Marc Jacobs perfume, and then I just put it on the bottom of my neck, behind my ears, and on my wrist. I love it when people smell good. Like, I feel like that's the first thing that you noticed. There's one last topic that I want to cover in this video about my self-love, insecurities, stuff like that, and that is my glasses, believe it or not. I used to be so insecure about wearing glasses all the time. I got glasses in like grade 10, but I only really had to wear them like in class very seldomly. I never really wore them until the end of first year, when I realized, oh, when I sit in the middle of a lecture hall, I can't see anything. So I used to sit in the first row, which was fine, I guess, but like I just couldn't really see in general. And then I started wearing glasses full time pretty much because I have to drive and I have to see, and yeah. But wearing glasses has, at first, it was really bad because I don't know why, but I still have that negative connotation of like, ooh, glasses don't look good and they don't make you look good. But like, screw them. Screw that idea. Like, freaking, I always thought that people would be like, oh, like she's not as cute with her glasses or whatever, but like, seriously, do I really care about the people that I will barely see on campus? Not really. It's more important for me to see, and I think these glasses in particular look so cute on me. I look really good with them, and like, it's helped me gain confidence, And yeah, I think family definitely plays a big role in like how you see yourself as well, because you're at home and people are going to be constantly commenting on you. The glasses when I got them were definitely a big thing when I got them, like for my family. But you know what? It's fine. It's your opinion that matters and your life that matters at the end of the day. So anyways, that's the end of my makeup routine. Usually I let my hair air dry for like a couple hours just because I don't really want to put heat on it and damage it, but I might blow dry it later because I have to go to work. I guess with my like current body image, I'll just wrap up this video with it. I definitely still get insecure about how I look, like my pimples, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I think you are so much more than your body image and how you look and who you are on the outside. It really is the inside that matters the most. It's very cheesy, but everyone truly is beautiful. That is the end of my makeup routine. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you want to, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
And I was like, yo.